Grr, arg.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Mixtape Podcast, a podcast where we review movies from a screenwriter's perspective. And this week, we are doing the one, the only live action Super Mario Brothers released in 1993, directed by Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton, written by Parker Bennett, Terry Runte and Ed Solomon, and it is based on the Mario franchise created by Shigeru Miyamoto for Nintendo. Now, listen. This movie gets a fuck ton of hate. It does. It gets a fuck ton of hate.
Really?
I love
I
it.
don't think so. I think
I've never heard of anybody hating this movie.
You know what? I think this is the best movie ever. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
This came out right like I was a kid and I saw it and I was obsessed. Like Super Mario Brothers on the original Nintendo was the first game I ever played. And then I played Super Mario 2 and then I played 3. And
no way. I did the same thing. Sorry.
Right. So when this movie came out, I was like, wait a minute, stop and I'm a kid, right? Stop everything. There's a live action Super Mario Brothers movie. What? I could have cried. I was so excited. And when I saw it as a kid, I was like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, it still kind of is. So people watching the movie today for the first time as adults, of course, they're going to think it's a pile of steaming pieces of shit, right? Of course they are. But watching it as a child, this is one of my favorite childhood movies. It just, for the time, and this is when Super Mario Brothers, the game, was at its height, it was just so mind-bending, and I still love it, and I have no hate for it whatsoever. But I understand when people do, because this is not an adult movie. It's a fucking kids movie. So if you don't know the premise,
fun.
It's so much fun. So much fun. The premise of Super Mario Brothers is this. 2 Brooklyn plumbers must travel to another dimension to rescue a princess from the evil King Koopa.
Sorry.
What is this?
It's like King Koopa. So great. So great. I'm sorry. Off you go.
It's an animation of like dinosaurs, and there's a voiceover telling us about the era of the dinosaurs. And when a meteor hit the planet, everybody thought it destroyed and wiped out the dinosaurs. And then, humans came along. But what if it didn't? What if the meteor, when it hit, created a rift? And what was formed was 2 worlds. Their world of the dinosaurs and our world as the humans. And their world, instead of being destroyed, thrived and evolved. And maybe they found a way back to our dimension. Just that opening scene gives me fucking chills. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, it created a rift. Yeah, there's dinosaurs walking around in another dimension. Yeah, we can reach it. Like, as a kid, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the opening because, first of all, the animation style over the narration was like Super Nintendo animation. So I really like that aspect. But from a screenplay writer's point of view, like Dean just said, it explained the entire concept of the movie in a very, very short amount of time. So that within itself is extremely economical, and just the idea of there being multiple worlds, one world underneath ours, that world being a world where dinosaurs evolved into humans, and you have these things called Koopas walking around. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. So now
I just want to say Dennis Hopper in this movie, gold. Like
gold.
So much gold.
Gold.
Like
this whole movie is fucking gold. It's gold. So in this movie, we get title cards. Fuck yeah. So we got Brooklyn 20 years ago. And we see a woman, she's running through the streets. It's at night, it's raining. And she's got a hood on, so we can't really see who she is. And she places a small capsule with a crystal on the top of it on the steps of a church. She runs through the sewers and until confronted with who we now know is Koopa. But before we didn't know, the tunnels come crashing down, and then we go back to the capsule. The nuns take the capsule inside the church. They open it to find a large egg. In that egg, there's a baby. When the egg breaks open, and there's a human baby inside. So I liked that as well, because that'll come back later on, and we'll find out who that is, and we'll find out what the crystal is and all that. So again, I think it's like, from a screenwriter's perspective, it's a really, really good setup of the future events.
Yeah, this film in the first two scenes did a fantastic job of basically explaining the premise, and then in the second scene pushing their premise forward by showing this scene of this baby in this cylindrical thing being delivered to a church. So the screenplay writing so far in this movie for kids is very, very good.
Yeah, it is. So we're now Brooklyn now. And we're introduced to Mario, played by Bob Hoskins, and Luigi, played by John Leguizamo. Now, listen, Bob Hoskins is an English actor. He's British, right? He does one of the best Brooklyn accents I have ever heard. When I watched this movie, I was like, oh, he's from Brooklyn. No, he's English. But his accent is flawless. Like, you will not get a better Brooklyn accent, because he doesn't overplay it, but you can hear the accent come through. And I loved him as Mario, and I loved John as Luigi. So Luigi's on the couch and he's watching a show about a guy saying he was in another dimension, and Luigi's like totally getting into it. Hey, Mario, this guy who is in another dimension, and he's talking about it, and Mario's like, can you stop put that shit off? Like, Mario's a non-believer. He's like, that's bullshit. And Luigi goes, no, I think he's telling the truth. And Mario's like, no, he's not. You got to stop watching this. It's going to rot your brain and all that crap. Mario, right away, Mario is the skeptic, Luigi is the believer. So that was set up really, really quickly, just by a few kind of lines of dialogue and half a scene, basically. It sets up their plumbers. They get a call for a job. As they are driving, Luigi is driving the truck. As they're driving to the job, Luigi's like, he turns a corner and Mario's like, what are you doing? That's not the way. And Luigi's like, nah, man, I got a feeling this is the way. And Mario's like, it's not the way. He goes, no, this is the way. Just trust me. And he actually gets to the location quicker, but he had no idea where he was going. Now, I do like that, because it sets up that he lives by his intuition. Mario lives by his brain. I like that, because both of them combined actually creates the Super Mario Brothers. So as a kid, I didn't get it. But watching it now, I'm like, oh, so they actually complement each other by the way that they do. And you can see by the things that they do in the movies, sometimes Mario does it right. Like, his way works by logic, and sometimes Luigi's like intuition works. So I really, really like that setup of the characters. What say you?
Yeah, no, just to go off what Dean just said, their character traits really, really, really serve them well. And the fact that Luigi is a believer and Mario is a skeptic really, really works well. But I really liked that scene with Luigi in the apartment watching this TV program about this guy saying that he went in another dimension. He didn't know where he was. And I also like the fact that Luigi has this constant need to show Mario things, and he has this constant need to sort of push Mario into a realm of belief that he's uncomfortable with. And Mario doesn't end up believing. He doesn't, his mindset doesn't actually change until they fall into the Koopa world. Also, I love that scene when they're driving to the job, and I love how Luigi sort of drives by intuition. I think that's a really interesting way to show the different way that they choose to go about navigating through the world.
Yes, I really love the setup of both of the characters. So now we're at an archaeological dig, and they're digging for dinosaur bones, and we meet Daisy, who runs the dig. And some rich goons, which are the Scapellis, they kind of they're like the mafia, they run the town. They try to intimidate her into leaving because they want to start building like their condos and shit, and they're holding it up because they're doing an archaeological dig. And they try to intimidate her into leaving. And she holds her own against these goons, which sets up her character beautifully. Like, she's not easily intimidated. Like, she will stand up to anyone for what she believes in, which I really, really like about her character. And we see that she's wearing the crystal from the capsule that the nuns found on the baby. And we're like, this is the baby. Like, straight away, this is the baby from the capsule. But we don't know who she is yet. And then we meet, and I had to actually research them because they're never actually named, but their names are Ibby and Spike Koopa, the two goons that work for King Koopa. Those are their names, but they're never actually named in the movie. And they're watching Daisy, and basically they're about to kidnap her. Now, before I ask you what you think, since I was a kid, and every single time I watch this movie, this is the only issue that I have with this movie. And I remember when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is the princess. And then it's like, it's Daisy. And I'm like, where the fuck's Peach? What? Who the fuck's Daisy?
You know why? You know what? As a kid, that also always bothered me. And today, it really pissed me off. I'm like, why the fuck didn't they call her Peach?
So weird.
I said the same thing. And just a quick word, because I have one more thing to say about the scene, and then we can move forward. As much as I love this movie, as a kid, I found the Koopa's henchmen to be really goddamn annoying. I was like, these guys idiots. They're just idiots.
Yeah.
But one more quick note. I really think that it's really, really, really good screenplay writing for the screenplay writers to show that Peach, or Daisy, is an independent woman, being that when she gets strong-armed by the mafia people that want to build over this development area that Daisy's digging around, I really like the fact that she stands up for herself and she doesn't let herself get pushed around, and she doesn't let herself get bought out by greedy corporate types of individuals.
So Daisy goes in to use the payphone, but Luigi's already using it because Luigi and Mario's van has broken down, and Luigi is calling for help. He's calling home to see if they've got any jobs from their answering machine. And he sees Daisy walk up wanting to use the payphone, and instantly he's just like a boy with like, oh my God, stars in his eyes. He's like, oh my God. And he literally just looks at her, hangs up the phone. He's like, there you go. Like, it's just she's like, okay, thanks. He's just completely enamored by her. And Luigi, after the phone call, Luigi offers Daisy a ride in the van that has broken down, but Mario has fixed it, because Luigi goes, I thought the van was broken. And Mario goes, I fixed it, right? I love it because it shows Mario can fix things, which he does throughout the movie. Luigi can't. That's not his skill. His skill is the intuition. His skill is trust. Mario is very three-dimensional, logic, fixing things. Again, they balance each other out.
Do you realize who Mario and Luigi are, basically?
Who?
They're Mulder and Scully. Come on. You got to see it.
No.
No? All right. Onward.
No. And
Onward.
I say no because Mario and Luigi are Mario and Luigi. Like, don't make me turn into my 7-year-old self and beat you over the head with a fucking umbrella. I won't do it. They're not Mulder and Scully. They're Mario and Luigi.
Come on.
No. How dare you?
You got to give me points for trying, though, right? I tried.
Minus points. Fucking Mulder and Scully. What did you think of the scene? That's the end of the scene. What do you think?
Even as a kid, when Mario and Luigi's truck broke down, I was like, don't they have a spare? Why can't they fix it? So I was really, really pleased to see when Daisy ran into Luigi at the payphone that Mario had already fixed the truck. But also, when I was a kid and I saw Daisy for the first time, I had stars in my eyes because that's a very pretty actress. And and I really, really, really liked it when Luigi saw her and he was like, screw it, she's gonna get the phone because she's just pretty and hot. So so
Yeah.
I really identify with that. And to go off what you said, I really like how they are showing constantly so far in this movie that Mario is Mr. Fix It and Luigi is the
Yes.
psychological one.
So
Yeah.
Luigi goes to ask Daisy out on a date, but he kind of hesitates. He's really cute. He's shy, doesn't really know how to do it. Mario's the older brother, and Mario does it for him. He's like, "Oh, what Luigi's trying to say is, you should come to dinner with us." And Luigi's like, "I could have done it." Mario's like, "Yeah,
No,
but you
you
didn't
couldn't.
do it, and I didn't." Yeah, he's like a scared little boy. So that night at dinner, Daisy explains to Mario, Luigi, and Mario's date, Georgina. I think her name's Georgina,
Yeah, his
that
name is
she doesn't
Georgina.
know. Yeah, she doesn't know who her parents were. She was abandoned and left on the steps of the church, and the only thing she knows about herself is she's got the crystal around her neck. She doesn't know what it means. She just that's all they left. After dinner, the two goons, Koopa goons, who were following Daisy, actually kidnap Mario's date, thinking that it's Daisy because it's night and they can't really see properly because they're absolute dickheads, right? They just go, oh, let's just grab her because we think it's her and we're not really paying attention because they're idiots. But that scene was good because we learnt. Well, we didn't learn, we knew because of the crystal. But now Luigi and Mario have learnt, a little bit about Daisy, and the goons have kidnapped, the wrong girl. But that's it.
Yeah, I listen, I really identified with Luigi not being able to ask Daisy out on a date for him to for the fact that he was so kind of fucking terrified of doing that, because in high school when I wanted to ask a girl on a date, what I ended up doing was telling the girl that I wanted to ask on a date that my best friend liked her.
Oh
And
wow.
that was that was one of my most embarrassing moments of my high school life, that I had this
Yeah.
opportunity to ask this girl out, but I kind of said the wrong thing because I was so terrified. So watching
Mm.
that scene gave me this sort of this acid flack high school flashback of being so afraid to ask a girl out that I liked out on a date, that I said the wrong thing. But I also really, really like that the goons that work for the Koopas are fucking raging idiots, and they kidnap all these different women because for some reason they don't know that the one that they need to kidnap has a crystal. Like,
Yes.
come on, guys, come on, guys.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So Daisy takes Luigi to the dig site after they've had dinner and into the underground tunnels where she's found dinosaur bones. And when they begin, the tunnels begin to flood, and Luigi calls Mario because Luigi is a novice, so he doesn't really know how to do big plumbing jobs. So Mario comes and basically fixes the flooding. When the Scapelli goons grab Daisy, dragging her deeper into the tunnels, Luigi and Mario follow, and they lose her, but they can still hear her. And then you see, and I thought this was so cool when I was a kid, you can see Daisy's face come out of the rock. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Even now, I'm like, I turn into a child. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But there's a drop off, right? So where Luigi and Mario is to where Daisy's face is coming out of the rock, there's a drop in between. So it's like shit. So Daisy goes, she's in the wall, and Luigi goes, oh, you know what, Mario? I got a feeling. I got a feeling. And Mario's like, no, no, because if he falls, he's gonna fall to his death. Luigi jumps and he jumps into the rock and he disintegrates, but he goes into the rock like it's a portal. And then Mario it's quite funny. He's like, oh, he's like touching it and he's like trying to lean into it, like because he doesn't trust. All he sees is a rock. But then he falls and it's a portal and you can see them falling through the portal. So what do you think?
Yeah, when I was a kid, this was actually my favorite scene in the movie for the same reasons that you have. Seeing Daisy's face sort of stick out the rock is just really, really fucking cool. And again, I really like Luigi's adventurous sort of nature, that he just sort of leaps out looking. But on the other hand, I also really appreciate Mario's sort of cautious optimism of not wanting to of not wanting to, risk his life just in case, just in case if he could fall to his death.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Luigi
yeah,
and Mario step into what looks I didn't know how to describe it. Kind of looks like post-apocalyptic, like Total Recall-y kind of
I
place.
didn't get
It's
that at
like,
all.
what did you get? I got like Blade Runner, Total Recall. What did you describe it as?
And
What
no,
would you say
no,
it
I
is?
got no, but I would say it looked like a really, really, really bad uh studio version of of like a rejected Star Trek set. Like from another planet. I did not get Blade Runner or Total Recall at all. The set design of this place is really good,
Yeah.
but it's not at that hyper level.
Yeah, I had no idea how to explain it. And they see like little dinosaurs and like non-humans, and they're like, "Where the fuck are they?" Like, it looks completely different from Brooklyn or from anything on Earth that you would find. They see a street vendor, and he's like grilling little dinosaurs, like as like a hot dog, and it's just like, "What the fuck is this?" And they see Daisy getting hauled into a cab, and she sees them and yells out for them, and they gotta but they're trying to figure out where the fuck they are. So they know Daisy's there. They're up on a thing. She's getting into a car. There's this fawn or light brown covered fungus that's like covering everything. And that will come into it later on, but that's just kind of like a little bit of a setup because it's very, very noticeable. But what did you think?
Like I said, I didn't think the production design of the parallel world or the Koopa world was on the level of the movie that we just mentioned. But for what it is, I think it's great. I think that the production design did a great job of filling this world with so much creepy stuff and like little dinosaurs. And there's even this part when you see a street vendor who's supposed to be selling hot dogs, but instead he's selling plant hot dogs. This is really fucking cool. Also, I love that the vehicles in the world actually look like vehicles that you would see in the 1990s, but just souped up and
Yeah.
and really really cool. Like the vehicles look like a kid took some rejected Lego pieces and stuck him on his
Yeah.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah. 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 That's exactly what it looks
Yeah,
like. So now we
yeah.
meet King Koopa, and he's the villain, and he's played by Dennis Hopper.
Oh,
And he
legend.
hates so legend. He hates the humans because of what they have. They have clean air, they have fresh water. Because he's a little bit of a germaphobe. He's like, they don't have germs over there. If you only knew, we have fucking more germs than what you have. But anyway, he wants their world. He wants to get into their world. He wants to merge the two worlds together. And we learn that the crystal Daisy wears around her neck is a part of the meteorite that hit when the initial rift happened. And the key to merging the two worlds together is the meteorite. Cooper learns that the plumbers have the rock, he calls it the rock, and puts out like an APB to all, like basically he owns the police station to arrest any plumbers because he needs that to merge the two worlds.
Did you find it rather interesting that he actually called it a plumber alert? You already have an alert called a plumber alert, so are you telling me that this has happened before?
I think he just
Because
makes shit up on the cuff.
okay, okay, because if this has happened before, why didn't you get the first set of plumbers that showed up in Koopa World?
No, I don't think it's happened before. I think he's just calling it that. I don't think it's a
Okay,
thing. He's
okay,
just like, if it was an electrician, he'd be like, put out an electrician alert. I think it's just like,
okay.
he's King Cooper. He can do whatever he wants. Why are you
Yeah,
questioning him?
yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah, no, but just no, but watching that today, I had never questioned that before, but since I was watching this with my adult brain and my screenplay writer's brain, I was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so are you telling me that? But that's besides the point. But I also really like that in this moment, like the second we meet the villain, we understand his motivations, we understand what he wants, and we
Mm,
understand that he rules over this place or this dimension with an iron fist. So I really like that the
yeah,
writers waste no time with telling you this villain's motivations. Because a lot of
yeah.
movies waste a lot of time trying to settle into the villain, not this movie.
Mm, yeah, yeah. So Luigi and Mario are basically being mugged when a large woman intervenes. Her name is Big Bertha, But she takes the crystal, and they're like, "Oh shit," because they know that they need the crystal. And she has these like cool like rocket boots on. So when she jumps, it's
I
like
want
she
these
just
as a kid,
yeah,
man.
me too. I want them now. She like pushes down and she like jumps really far. And I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." But
Rocket
and then they
boots.
get
Woo.
arrested and then they get arrested for being plumbers. So that's that sad.
No, but can you just clarify why they get arrested? They get arrested because they're plumbers. I love Mario's reaction. He's like, "What the fuck? You gonna arrest me because I'm a plumber?" And I also love when they get in the car, Luigi says, "Oh, get this guy's number." And the reason why he says that is because if you get falsely arrested by a police officer, in every police car in America, there's a in the back of their car, you actually see a paper version of their badge, and on the paper version is a corresponding number to that officer. So if that officer ever mistreats you, you can
Mm.
report to his supervisor.
Daisy gets thrown into a room with other girls, and Mario's girlfriend is in there. And they're like, "Oh my god, Daisy!" And Luigi and Mario get processed at the station, and basically they get put in dog cages. Like that's the cells. The cells are dog cages, and the guy that's above them in the next cage tells them that the fungus is everywhere and that it's their old king, and he was de-evolved.
I feel really bad for this guy. Even as
I
a
know.
kid, I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, I really we'll get there, but I'm sorry, we'll get there.
Yeah, that same guy gets put in the fucking de-evolve machine. Like he's really nice. He puts in the de-evolve machine. It basically shrinks the brain so that it turns you into like a lizard type, like Goomba. And I loved these Goombas when I was a kid. They were so
They're,
cute. I wanted one as
they're
a friend.
awesome.
I
No,
love
no,
them.
today they're stupid, but they're awesome.
No, I want one now. What are you saying? What are
No,
you
but
talking about?
but hold up. No, but I said they're stupid, but they're awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's true,
want
but they're
one.
awesome. So Mario and Luigi see this because Koopa has brought them there. Oh, Koopa shows them because he wants the crystal. And if he doesn't get it, that's what's going to happen to them. So he grabbed them from the cell, showed them the evolution process, basically to scare them into getting the fucking crystal. And that's that scene.
But I kept thinking that, listen, if Koopa really wanted the crystal, he probably should have gotten people that were more qualified instead of these two fucking dimwits who just happened to be his cousins.
He doesn't know anyone else, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he's King Koopa, so couldn't he theoretically make anybody do what he wants?
True, but I think they're all stupid there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
not,
I'm not.
that's what
Yeah,
happened. That's not what happened.
yeah.
But yeah, good.
Also, I really, really like it when Mario and Luigi get put in these dog cages, and this musical guy who just got arrested for singing a song against King Koopa really breaks down to them how the world works and the way it works to sort of give them an idea of the world that they just stepped into, because at this point they're still kind of sort of walking by the seat of their pants or running by the seat of their
Mm.
pants.
Yeah, exactly. So Luigi and Mario escape the police station. They steal a cop car. They drive into a tunnel after a long chase sequence, and the tunnels aren't finished. So they basically drive off a cliff, but the fungus saves them from crashing. Anything to say about that scene before I move on?
The only thing I don't like about that scene is the fact that Luigi calls the fungus a big giant booger. I'm like, come on, dude.
Oh yeah, I thought that was. I never liked that. Even as a kid, I was like, ew.
Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We meet King Koopa's girlfriend, Lena. If you're a fan of the Harry Potter series, she was Harry Potter's evil stepmom. That's the same actress.
Yep. Uh-huh. Oh,
So she goes to Daisy,
I'm sorry.
and she calls her Princess Daisy. So this is the first time she's being addressed as a princess. I mean, look, it could have been brought up another way because it doesn't kind of come back, or I mean, it doesn't. It's just like, oh, okay. And I still think it should have been fucking Princess Peach. Lena.
No, it should have been Pete. Daisy.
It should have been.
What the fuck is Daisy? It should have
I
been,
don't know.
yeah, Princess
I don't know.
Peach.
So Lena takes her to King Koopa, and Daisy sees a chained up baby dinosaur that's so sweet. And this is Yoshi. Yay,
Yes,
Yoshi. And
yay!
yeah, and the meeting doesn't hold any new information at all. Like nothing really happens. The only thing is we meet Yoshi. The whole interaction with Princess Daisy and Koopa, nothing is pushed forward at all in the story.
No, no, no. The whole meeting with Princess Peach, not Daisy. When 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 she meets King Koopa, I thought that that could have been cut out, but I honestly really thought that when Harry Potter's evil step parent went to go get Princess Daisy or Princess Peach, that because she called her princess, I thought that she was going to feel. I thought she was going to give her some sympathy, and I thought that she was going to help her escape, even when I was a
Mm,
kid.
mm.
So that really, it really disappointed me that her character went in the direction that she did.
Yeah. Yeah. So Luigi and Mario end up stealing a garbage truck to regain entry back into the city. They end up meeting up with the two goons who kidnapped Daisy, and they tell them, if you help us find Daisy, we will get you the crystal. And so they agree, they all agree. And they tell them that a large woman stole it. And the goons go, oh, that's Big Bertha. And she works at the Boom Boom Bar. So that's where they go next.
I love the scene. I love the scene in the Boom Boom Bar so much. So off we go to that.
So the boys get to the Boom Boom Bar, and Mario spots Big Bertha. And then he goes, don't worry, let me handle this. I got it.
Yeah.
So he starts dancing with her. In the mist, kind of grabs the crystal from around her neck because she has it around her neck, and then fucks off. And Big Bertha's like, "What? Where did he go?" And you kind of feel sorry for her because you think she's a bitch, but she's actually not.
Yeah, but
um,
yeah, yep, yeah, but
yeah.
first Mario gets punched in the face first. Like I feel I should point that out.
Oh right, yes, yes, yes. And then one of my favorite songs as a kid. I don't even know I can't remember what it's called. It's like "Walk the Dinosaur," I think. I still
Yeah.
love that song. Comes on, I'm like, oh, I love this song. And then Lena and the Goombas crash the club because they know that they're there. Luigi and Mario escape, assisted by Big Bertha, because now she's nice. She likes him. And she tells them to use the stompers. So the stompers are the boots she had on before, so that's already been set up. They press down, they put the boots on, they press down, and they jump up out of the building. And Luigi notices a little bomb attached to the fungus and grabs it because he's like, the fungus is trying to help us. And Mario's like, don't be, that's ridiculous. And he goes, no, I think the fungus is trying to like help us. Mario doesn't believe it, but Luigi goes by his intuition. Mario doesn't. So that stays consistent until the end. So I like that scene. Boom Boom Bar. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes.
I love the music in the Boom Boom Bar. Not only the song that Dean referenced, but the song that plays before that is just fucking great. Like there's something about that sequence that just makes me so happy when I was a kid and even as an adult. I love the fact that the slime that is consuming the city constantly tries to give Luigi stuff. And I love the fact that the thing that the slime tries to give Luigi is a fucking small grenade from the video game. I love
Yeah.
that. I
So
love
there's
that.
a, there's a short scene. King Koopa enters a room that is basically the source of all the fungus, and he's talking to it, and he's saying that he's leaving and he's going to the human world, and this is the king. This is the king. He's turned the king into fungus.
I think that's a great reveal that we find out that the fungus choking the entire city is actually the first ever degenerated person that King Koopa took and degenerated, and the first person to ever go through that was in fact the king of Koopa Land before King Koopa took it over. But actually, was it called Koopa Land before King Koopa fucked it up?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You know?
So the next scene is like there's a little scene where like Daisy is obviously like held against her will. Yoshi is there, and the guy that was in the cage above the Mario Brothers that was de-evolved into a Goomba. You can tell because he's got like this swirl and he's so adorable. And he comes in and he tries to give her like meat. And she goes, no, I don't eat anything with a face. And he doesn't
I'm a
understand.
veg-
And she's like,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
I'm a
I'm a
vegetarian.
vegetarian.
This is so
And he's
great.
like, And he's just looking at her like, I don't understand. And she goes, do you have anything like vegetables? And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. Like he's so adorable.
But also,
So
but also, I'm sorry, but also, that's not the best part. The best part comes in a couple minutes. But I'm sorry for stepping on you there.
yes. So he goes away. Luigi and Mario break into the Koopa Tower and basically change into their iconic costumes of green for Luigi and red for Mario. Lena visits Daisy and tries to kill her because Lena's jealous of Daisy. King Koopa is paying way too much attention to Daisy. She doesn't like her. She's severely jealous. She's like, fuck this chick. I'm just going to kill her. Tries to kill her. And Yoshi saves Daisy. But Lena ends up stabbing Yoshi. But don't worry, folks. Yoshi's totally fine. He's totally fine. He survives. Daisy runs out and bumps into the Goomba, the nice Goomba, and the goons who kidnapped her, but she doesn't realize that they're not going to do anything to her. She runs into it, and if this Goomba has like these steamed vegetables, and he like tries to give it to her, and you're just like, oh my fucking god.
You're the best, man. You're the best.
He's so cute. And she's like, oh, no. And then he gets set on fire, and then she puts him out. She's like, no, he's helping. He's a friend. And then the Mario brothers turn up, and it's just like, it's a whole thing. And they're like, no, we're going to help you. We're not going to kidnap you anymore because apparently they've changed. And they take her. They think they say we think you should see this. They take her to her father, which is the king, which is the source of all fungus, which was the scene that was set up before. Koopa de-evolved him into the fungus. And sorry, Luigi and Mario are not in this scene. They're in the next scene. But that's what they do. But that was a cute scene with the Goomba. I just remember the Goomba being really cute.
Yeah, I look. I love the musical Goomba guy. It's really, really cool that after he got de-evolved into a Goomba, he still kind of somehow retained his humanity. I just hope that guess what? Spoilers here, but they win the day. When they win the day, I really hope that they sort of turned all the Goombas back into normal people.
Oh, they would definitely have done that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi catch up with Daisy, and she introduces them to her fungus father.
Does it bother you that she is so willing to accept this?
I think her whole life she knew that she maybe didn't belong where she was, and she knew that there was something more. So I think when she did go to the other dimension, the reason why she was willing to accept was because I think her whole life she kind of had a feeling that this is it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she is originally from there. So I don't think it was a stretch to kind of go, oh, okay, because I think she always knew there was something more out there.
Okay, I'll accept that.
So they catch up with Daisy, and she introduces them to her father and informs Mario that his girlfriend was also kidnapped and being held in the building on the 51st floor. And Luigi says to Mario before he leaves and runs off, see, I told you the fungus was trying to help us. But that's that scene.
I think it's a really good scene. I really, really liked that Princess Peach or Princess Daisy also mentioned to Mario that, oh, by the way, there are these these other women here that I really like that at this point in the film, Mario split from Luigi to go get the other girls that were trapped, and they sort of met back together in a couple of scenes. So I do kind of like that small moment when Mario and Luigi go on separate paths to go and do separate things and then come back together in a few moments.
Yes. So Mario finds his girlfriend with the other kidnapped girls, and I loved this scene as a kid. He opens this massive vent and then gets one of the Goomba mattresses, and all the girls sit on it and her, and it's like a roller coaster. It's like a water slide without water, but because it's snow, it slides. Oh my god, it was the coolest scene. I was like, I want to do this. Like every time I watch this, it takes me back to being a kid. I fucking loved it.
When I saw that scene, I was like, I love this image, and I was like, if it's not this, it's going to be something else. But I love the image.
They come flying out of the pipe into the street that Mario and Luigi first entered into the world, right in front of King Koopa, who has basically not kidnap. Luigi and Daisy are with him. He's holding them. And Lena has got the crystal. And she's just mad. She turns crazy. And she runs like a mad woman through the tunnels going, it's mine. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to merge the world. And I'm like, oh, man, you crazy. So Lena tries to do it. She gets to the place where she has to insert the crystal and merge the worlds. But the force is so much that she gets basically very dead. She gets extremely dead. And only Daisy can do it. So she realizes when Daisy kind of catches up, Daisy and Luigi see her dead. And then she goes, only I can do it. Only I can withstand the force of merging the worlds, which is why Koopa didn't kill her as soon as he got the crystal. But Lena's already put the crystal in. She just got dead. Didn't mean that she didn't succeed. So the worlds are starting to merge. Luigi and Daisy managed to eventually pull the crystal out and the worlds return to normal. But as the worlds begin to merge, King Koopa and Mario is fighting King Koopa. They go into Brooklyn, and the Goombas go into Brooklyn, and everybody's standing there like, what is this? And then King Koopa's tower emerges into Brooklyn. So when the worlds merge, like everything comes into one. The dissolving effect was really cool. When the worlds were beginning to merge, Luigi and Daisy managed to pull the crystal out and the worlds return to normal. So King Koopa and Mario go back to, the dinosaur world. And Daisy's Goomba friend hands them de-evolved guns.
I love those things.
She gives one to Luigi and one to Mario, and they use it against King Koopa until he basically turns into goop. They de-evolve him until he's like nothing. And the city rejoices because they fucking hate Koopa. They fucking hate this guy. The king is restored to his human self, and he's like, I love those plumbers.
I really think that those scenes are really, really great. I really like that they showed Harry Potter's evil stepmother trying to merge the worlds herself, but because she isn't the chosen one, because she is not Princess Peach or Princess Daisy, she can't do it. I really like the fact that she basically turns into a fucking skeleton, and when she tries to put the rock into the meteorite, she gets blown back and kind of electrocuted. And I love that her skeleton sticks to the wall. I think I think that's a really, really nice sequence. But when Mario and King Koopa go into present day to Brooklyn, and you see Koopa Tower sort of coming into our world, there's a really quick shot of the two twin towers, and they sort of disintegrate. And for me, that's really triggering for reasons. It's like, oh wow, I thought it was.
I noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's not good. that did not hold up. That didn't hold up at all.
No, it did not. But with that being said, I do like the fact that the evil developer guys that gave Daisy a hard time at the beginning of the movie when we first met her get turned into apes, or one of them does. So I think
that's right. Yeah, the Scapellis get turned into monkeys.
Yeah. One of them does, but I don't think the other one does as well.
Oh, the main guy does. Right. The boss.
And I really, really appreciate that as Luigi and Mario are trying to de-evolve King Koopa, he turns, like, at first he like the effect is really good. His face starts to merge, but then he turns like into this evil beast kind of thing. That's
terrifying.
Really, really cool. It's terrifying. But also, like Dean said, I love at the end that he turns into this green goo and just sprawls out all over the floor. So really, really fun and entertaining third act of this movie.
Yes. So Daisy chooses not to go back to Brooklyn because she says she has to stay and kind of help restore the world, get to know her father, because that's where she's from. I wish there was more to Daisy, because I don't think she ever really felt comfortable kind of with the humans. And I wish that was explored a little bit more. I mean, it's okay that it wasn't because it's a kid's movie, but I feel like that's the main reason why she wanted to stay, was because, this is where I'm from. This is my world. and Mario and Luigi go back to Brooklyn through the portal, and that's it.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? I kind of felt as a kid, I was really disappointed that Luigi didn't stay with her. I was I was really pissed. This movie has a last scene that really annoys me, and the reason why it annoys me is because it sets up something that never happened. I'm like,
That
what the
never
fuck?
happened. Yeah, let's get to the stress-inducing scene right now. How about that? So
All right,
there's another
let's hit it.
title card. 3 weeks later, Luigi and Mario's girlfriend are all watching TV, and the news comes on and it says, they saved Mario and Luigi saved the missing girls in Brooklyn, and they will forever be known as the Super Mario Brothers. And I was like, that's cool. There's a knock at the door. Daisy walks in and she's all disheveled. Her pants are ripped. There's hairs all over the place, and she's holding a Goomba gun. And she says, "You got to come with me. I need your help. You're never going to believe this." And Mario grabs his plumber belt and he goes, "I believe it. I believe." And that's it. And then there's just a still of Daisy. And I was like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, sequel. And then there fucking wasn't.
Still waiting on that.
I'm still fucking waiting.
We're gonna.
That's the end, folks.
We are going to die waiting.
Do you know what? I because look, when it came out, there was no internet, there was no nothing. So you never knew, like, if a sequel came out, it just came out. So I forever had hope. I couldn't research, an article saying there's no sequel. I didn't know. Just as a kid, every year I'd be like, is there a sequel? Is it coming? Is it coming? Never fucking came. Still waiting.
But the thing that I like about this ending is when Daisy shows up and says, "Oh, we have a problem. I need you guys." I love the fact that Mario is the first one to grab his belt off of the little rack that they have. And he's like, okay, I'm down to go. Because that really shows his evolution as a character from at the beginning of the movie, he was a skeptic. But now at the end of the movie, he's a believer. So I really, really like that character arc for him throughout the movie. Yeah. I do agree with you, just to go back a little bit, I do agree with you that Daisy as a character didn't get that much to play with. I really think that the writers could have built her out a little bit more. But again, it's a kid movie. It's a kids movie, and I don't really think that they were thinking that deep into it. If they were, they wouldn't have called her Daisy. They would have called her Princess Peach. Yes. But the stinger of her showing up and me sitting there watching this movie as a kid thinking, okay, in about a year or two, I'm going to get a sequel. And the fact that I never got one, it's like, it still fucking hurts. It still fucking hurts.
It's fucking painful. It's a trauma. Hurts. It's a childhood trauma, really.
That's still hurts. Still hurts.
So anyway, my trivia. Okay. This is probably why we didn't get a fucking sequel. Dennis Hopper said this, and Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo also said the same thing about filming. Filming was a nightmare. It was a husband and wife director team who were both control freaks and wouldn't talk to each other before making a decision. Wow. There were multiple script changes on a daily basis to the point where the actors just ignored the script changes. Bob and John frequently got drunk on set because they couldn't break contract, but they didn't want to film anymore because it was such a horrendous working environment. Everybody that worked on that movie, the cast absolutely fucking hated it because of the directors. The directors were just douchebags. The original story for the Super Mario Brothers movie, because the movie that we got kind of seems disjointed. The original was going to be more kid orientated. These directors wanted to make it more adult. So the original movie was going to have Princess Peach, it was going to have Bowser, it was going to have all the villains from like the plants, and all the villains from the game was going to be in the live action thing. But the directors go, no, it's too kiddie, we want to make it more adult. And they took everything out. The thing that I was disappointed with this movie is that they didn't have almost any of anything from the games. They had little bits, but they could have put in so much more, and they didn't. And this was the directors going, no, we don't need that. We're going to make it this way. It was as if they weren't even fans of the movie. So that's why it seems
Yeah,
disjointed. They didn't even know what they were doing.
I kind of don't understand why some studios get directors that aren't fans of the thing that they are directing, because if
Mm,
you're not a fan of something, sometimes it's really hard to understand what makes that thing special. On the
mm,
other hand, there are some people who come to direct something based on a piece of material that they're not familiar with. And because they're not familiar with that piece of material, they steep themselves into research to learn about that piece of material. And sometimes they do a better job at translating the material than a fan would. A great example of that is Nicholas Meyer with Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
mm.
He was not a Star Trek guy before he directed that movie, but because of the research that he did and because of the way that he saw the film, Nicholas Meyer is one of the best writers in to take on a Star Trek movie, and because he's not a fan, I think that's to his benefit. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. And The Wrath of Khan is my favorite Star Trek movie. So that's interesting. That's
oh,
interesting. But
cool,
yeah. But
cool.
yeah, he put in
Yeah,
a lot of effort, obviously.
yeah, he did, he did.
There were 9 puppeteers who operated Yoshi.
What? No way! No, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And he wasn't, Yoshi was in like 2 scenes. And he didn't even really move a lot. Yeah, 9 puppeteers.
Wow, 9 puppeteers for very little movement. Wow.
Bob Hoskins didn't know the film was a game until his son was like, "Do you know that this is based on a game?" And he was like, "No." And
What?
his son had to show him, "This is the game." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god.
Arnold Schwarzenegger turned down the role of King Koopa.
Really? That would have been an interesting take on King Koopa.
That would have been super weird.
Yeah.
But that's it. Shall I finish the show?
Take us home.
Thank you to everyone who's listened to Super Mario Brothers. We love it. Yay! I hope this has taken
Yay.
you on a portal back to your childhood of one of the best movies ever. If you want to email us, you can email us at themixtapepod at AOL.com. You can subscribe to our channel if you like what we have to say. Next week, we are doing a movie directed by Steven Spielberg. We are doing The Fabelmans. So we hope that you can join us for that because it's going to be really good, as all Steven Spielberg movies usually are. And as I close out the podcast, I will say what I usually say, and that is if someone is kind enough to make you a mixtape, that must mean that they really love you. The Mixtape Podcast is a Balloonhead Productions presentation.